what I wanna, innovate what I'm gonna. You can hate all you wanna, but you're still in your pajama. Now I ain't a prima donna, but I built what I wanna. You can say my vision's wrong, the tune of my song. Broke my thumb, bang into my own drum. Broke my thumb, bang into my own drum. Broke my thumb, bang into my own drum. Hootin' and clapping, boots I am a strapping, a click click clacking. Hurrah! Bootstrapping in America. Yeah, bootstrapping in America.
Introducing Swingbyte 2. Golf's most trusted mobile swing analyzer is now even better. Easier to attach and align, Swingbyte 2 features enhanced stability and easily fits on any club from driver to putter. On contact, Swingbyte 2 captures your most important swing data and transmits it wirelessly to your smartphone or tablet, where you can analyze the swing you just made, see your swing plane, and the path the club traveled from any angle. The new Swingbyte 2 app features in-app video, auto-trimmed and synced for side-by-side analysis of your swing and the Swingbyte data, including club head speed, lie angle, face angle, and much more. Swingbyte 2 also collects your complete swing history to compare and track your progress as you improve. Start improving your game with the most advanced and affordable way to analyze your golf swing instantly. Order the new Swingbyte 2 today at swingbyte.com.
Thomas, we're back, my friend. Bootstrapping in America.
Cool. I got this. Did you get one of these?
No, only the creator gets one. Swingbyte.
So, hey guys, Alex and Nathan, how are you?
Good, thanks.
So let's talk about this little contraption that the bat's got in his hand right there. Whose idea was this?
Mine, really. And for the record, I don't play golf. I'm starting to get there.
Were you a mini golfer player at the time?
Not even that. No, more of a billiards player, I guess. But I had the idea.
Why can't you Swingbyte on a billiards cue?
You probably could. You probably could. There's fewer of those than
not a big
golfers.
market for that anymore.
Not really, no.
Yeah. Okay.
I was browsing this website called SparkFun, which it's fairly well known in hobbyist robotics. And I saw this guidance system for a do-it-yourself drone. Cost $130. It was just a bunch of sensors and an Arduino.
You guys both seem like you own drones.
Couple.
I'm not actually allowed to talk about it.
Okay, I was gonna say because you both seem like you have drones. Okay. See, I can look at Tony.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. Every dev we have here has a drone, but I can look at Tony. He doesn't have a drone. Okay. I don't have a drone.
I'm droneless.
Yeah, I'm droneless too.
I've been hanging out with him too much. Then, if you think I have a drone, so.
I think you have a drone. Yeah. So. Go ahead.
So I saw this guidance system, which is basically an accelerometer and a gyroscope, and it cost $130. This was 3-4 years ago, and I thought, well, I wonder if I could use it to track motion, just motion in general. So I bought it, started playing with it, and it actually worked. So then I started thinking, all right, where would this make sense? Where would people pay for this? Where isn't there information like this available? And golf was the first idea that I had.
But I've seen things like there's all these crazy contraptions. I mean,
sure,
you didn't play a lot of golf, but they've had golf contraptions.
Absolutely.
I once bought a putter that had like 3 balls on it, and so you could line the balls up.
Yeah,
with the,
three balls behind it. I remember that stupid
before they made it
putter.
illegal. And it was like plastic, and,
Yep.
and they've had every contraption. Like you put these things down and it tests your. I mean, they have everything in golf. So
sure.
So you go to your buddy Nathan, and you say, you play golf, right?
Well, I wish it was that simple.
Okay.
We have a mutual friend, and she had mentioned that Alex was working on something that he wanted to put through the New Venture Challenge at the University of Chicago.
This is the graduate school New Venture Challenge at Booth.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And
so your parents are thinking, well, now we're down about $300-400 grand, so get to this point so far, and you're going to build a golf club.
If you want to talk my parents into paying for this, please have at it. No, I was really interested in not only just the entrepreneurship side of Booth, but golf as well. So, Alex and I met, and he was looking for someone to help him with marketing, and I'm by no means a marketing person.
But you guys are both at school at the same time.
That's exactly right.
Got it.
Yeah, but I told him I could help him, build the product, and that's where the supply chain is where my expertise was, and he said, okay, and off we went.
I needed one of those too.
Yeah.
So where'd you go to undergraduate school?
I went to Michigan State.
You went to Michigan. Where'd you go?
University of Missouri Rolla.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. And then you both end up at University of Chicago for grad school.
Yep.
I got it. And you entered the challenge, the entrepreneurship challenge, because we just had somebody on here. man, probably about your age. Just somebody on here yesterday, or the day before. It was a digital marketing company. Digital marketing company. They won that second prize.
Huh. Oh, okay.
At the booth at the challenge. So he was talking about the same thing. Came up really through the same ranks. Must be an extraordinary program.
It's absolutely. We have friends that are trying to get into entrepreneurship, trying to bring products to market, and every time if they have access to it, I recommend that they do it. It's also open. If you don't have to be a student yourself necessarily. If you know somebody who is, then you can get in that way. But it's been
so Alex, what was your undergraduate degree in?
Math.
What was yours?
Engineering.
Okay, so this is right. You got all the pedigree.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come up with this contraption, whatever you built it somewhere, prototyped it, right?
Yep.
And then, but you're in school. You win. How much money did you win?
$10,000, I think.
$10,000. Okay. So now what happened? Tell me the story.
Well, we had, it was April, May that we that the competition was over. So it was early that summer. We kind of sat down. We're like, okay, so we did well. This was fun. What's next?
Let me ask you a question. Just because I don't understand the challenge. Yeah. Do you have to use the $10,000 to build out the product, or is it just $10,000 you can take in?
It's an investment, actually. So Booth is actually an investor in our company.
Okay, so they have a share, they have a piece of it, but they don't really bug you. They just take a small piece for whatever.
That's exactly right.
I got it.
Yeah, and so we sat down. The panel of judges they put together for that are remarkable.
Oh no, I know.
Incredible entrepreneurs, VCs, and that kind of thing. And so we felt like, well, if this panel of judges is telling us that we have something, I think we owe it to ourselves to pursue it. So I quit my job. Alex had already been working on it full time. I worked at Grainger.
Okay.
Up in Lake Forest doing supply chain stuff and
got it, done it, do it, whatever they're at. It's like
for the ones who get it done. So and then we was like, it's kind of all in or all out. So
that's cool.
Had an interesting conversation with my wife, and here we are.
Yeah. He told her, listen, we're not going to eat cat food, but we're going to work our asses off, and you're not moving to the suburbs anytime soon.
We're taking a shot here right now.
Exactly.
Don't worry, we've all had that conversation. Okay, that's why we're all sitting where we are today.
Yep.
What's that term? Entrepreneur widow.
Yeah.
An entrepreneur widow? I like that. Yeah. We have a spread on. It's called the Widowmaker. I didn't think about that as an entrepreneur thing. So, all right. So this is cool now. So now it's just the two of you. You go out, you build this product. First thing, where do you go? Like China, Russia, India? Where are you going?
Both. Actually, the very first prototypes we did have made in Russia, just because I had some connections there. Mm-hmm. But for actual manufacturing, we went to China.
Okay.
So NBC wraps up. We decide to go for it. Nathan quits his job.
Dad had to go well with the wife.
Oh yeah. We'd been married, less than a year. So that was, or about a year. So that was, the father-in-law was like, excuse me, I don't think this is quite the deal that I believe we signed up for. But been very supportive. So I'm
basement
very
has
lucky.
a bathroom, you'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
So the big event of the year for the golf world is the PGA show in Orlando in January. So we had about 6 months to get ready for that. That was kind of our next milestone. If we did okay there, we'd say, okay, we can do something like this.
You're gonna hit the circuit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you do. You bring it to the street, right?
Yep.
Right.
So we went there and we got this crappy 10x20 booth. And the PGA show, I
remember my first trade show. Trust me. Yes.
Yeah.
Remember my first trade show.
Yeah. But the PGA show, I think, is one of the biggest trade shows, period, in the country. Picture the McCormick Center filled wall to wall with golf stuff. Something like 7,000 or 8,000 exhibitors.
Yeah.
40,000 products.
And a putter with 3 balls on it.
But you don't play golf.
Right.
See, I would never buy a golf thing from somebody who doesn't play golf.
I don't know. Would you buy a golf technology thing from somebody who doesn't play golf? There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
And interestingly enough, when we talked to investors about that, it was actually a benefit that I didn't.
Because, I believe it was. I'm just saying when you're going out there
demoing
at your first trade show, when you're demoing at your first trade show, you better go hire an assistant pro from one of those local courses and say, this is how you swing the glove.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So we go there, and it went amazingly well.
So you sold some.
We weren't selling. We were just showing.
Okay.
And we had a PR guy, but he didn't. He helped us, but not a whole.
All right. Fast forward. So you go through this whole thing. You hit your first trade show. People like it. You got something there. You build the technology that. So this device speaks to whatever it's wireless and it speaks to you guys
Android, Apple.
Yeah, you wrote an app for.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, smartphones, tablets.
Right.
iPhone,
So I go to
iPad.
the driving range down the street. I go to the driving range at Diversity or whatever it is, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my smartphone or my iPad, every third or fourth shot to tell me what.
What you're doing. So you get a full 3D animation of what your swing looks
Do you
like.
say things like "you stink"?
Not quite.
Not quite.
Not
Try
quite.
tennis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Try
everything,
tennis.
yeah.
So you-
Yeah.
We tried that one before.
Yeah.
So right now, what the app does is it shows you numbers. So it shows you club head speed, all the different angles.
Yeah, but does it show you relative to something else?
We have a library of professional swings in there as well,
Okay.
so you can do side-by-side comparison and see what they look like.
So Mickelson is doing this, and you're here.
Basically.
Got it.
Basically. We try to stay away from here's the right way to do it because there's no such
You
thing
show
as the
things
right.
like if you're a 16 handicap, this is what a 16 handicap does.
We have the data for that. We don't do it just yet. Right now, it's just here's some professional data. Here's what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And then from that, you're able to change your swing, or is that?
That's the idea. It's remarkable because there's some pretty simple rules of thumb that you want your swing to look a particular way. And if it's just the mental of here's the 3D of what you're doing, just try to shift in that direction. If you have that constant reinforcement loop, you see what you're doing, and so you adjust very quickly.
So how many people have downloaded the apps? Like tens of thousands?
Yep.
Okay. So what kind of feedback do you get from these people?
Well, I mean, the feedback we've gotten has been pretty overwhelming as far as like people. One of the toughest things about a golf swing is really understanding what you're doing because. You might hit one shot well and one shot poorly, but if they feel the same to you, we talk a lot about
deals with that in golf.
like
even the pros, right?
Yeah, right. Quantifying your feel is something we talk about a lot. So people that actually have this physical rendering of their swing and understand when they're changing things and they don't realize it is pretty powerful. A lot of people respond well to visual cues or data.
Well, there's no camera involved in this, though. This is all I need is just this piece on the club. Right?
That is correct.
Yep.
Now we've added camera functionality through your phone or your
You
tablet.
can wear your
You can
GoPro.
put
You
that
wear
in.
your
there.
GoPro on top.
That's right on top of you.
We've added some of that to it, but you're right. You don't need it. And one of the issues with video sometimes is people are often kind of hung up on the wrong things when they look at video. They wonder what they look like when they swing. Like, oh man, that's that's what I look like. Oh, that's well, who cares, right? It's are you getting the club in the right position? So by isolating on that, you can learn a lot.
So how much is the device?
It retails for $169.
$169. So if I pay $169 for something, the first question I'm going to ask is, all right, did it work? Like how much? Like so let's say I do it right by the book. I do everything you guys tell me to do.
Right.
I practice, I study, I check out all my stuff. Like, how can you put some numbers around like what can it help my game by?
So two things I can say to that. One is, we look at it from the standpoint of there's no shortcut to the 10,000 hour rule if you believe in the 10,000 hour rule. But this will
the
keep
old rules were 10,000 hours. I mean, that's before you had these things.
Right.
Yeah,
But this will keep you from turning 10,000 hours into 20,000 hours because it'll keep you on track.
But I want
practice.
the 10,000 hour rule. Like we do the same thing here with finance. It used to be 10,000 hours, but now I want it in
10 minutes.
In 10 minutes, right? Same thing.
You need that much time, huh?
Yes.
So I want to know this thing. How fast it works and how much could it take off my swing.
Sure.
I mean, take off my score.
So I'll give you a personal example. I started using this, and club head speed for me has gone up by about 5 miles an hour over the course of the last summer on a 7-iron. Just because I started swinging better, more using my body more as opposed to all arms, and I was able to see that from the data.
So do you like golf now?
Yeah, actually, I spent this summer. So this is year 2 and change. This summer we must have gone out 10 or 15 times to Maravitz. For me, that's big.
To where?
Maravitz, Sydney Maravitz, down the street here.
The little 9-hole course off Lakeshore.
You've played it.
Wayland.
Oh, you're talking about up north?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the one. It's just past Diversity.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, now you have to walk or carry your own bag. I'm a spoiled golfer.
We don't like leaving the city.
Yeah. I don't like leaving the city either. But I mean, that one's.
How's the competition space for? I mean, everybody's got a gimmick in a golf something. How's that been to infiltrate?
It's been kind of interesting. So when we started, we were the first ones. And now there's competitors, and that's kind of how it is because fundamentally the hardware isn't really where the magic is. It's all about the app. And so given how cheap sensors have gotten and how close and ability sensitive we've gotten, it's not surprising that we have competitors. It's really about how do we present to the data, how actionable is the data, how easy is it to use, how engaging is it, and that's really where we see our competitive advantage.
Are you guys, so what I'm curious about is, so there's been a lot of statistics on golf. It's a combination of Tiger getting hurt. It's a combination of Tiger getting hurt and just, kind of natural cyclicality with a sport that got probably overexposed. And now I think last time I read a lot of the statistics on golf, it was at one of its kind of valleys, at lowest points, which is, if you're making it in this market, it's probably great for you. Because one, it weeds out your competitors, and two, because it shows that when the market gets good again, when Tiger wins his next tournament, okay, you guys are going to have a great business. Do you think about that at all, or you only really focus on things you can control?
Well, I think we certainly think about those things. To your point, we don't fret over it too much.
No, right.
But for every statistic out there that says something about the golf game dying, there's one that says that it's growing as well. So I think what it really comes down to is, making a product that makes people want to golf more, and we feel like we're part of, this bigger movement in golf to say, what is it that are, turning young people away from golf? What are the things that we can do to make it more fun and more attainable? And, bringing technology, bringing your smartphone into the mix, giving you data points. We feel like, we're part of the growth of the game are things like our product.
I'll tell you what I would do. This is a crazy little market. As I'm sitting here listening to your thing, you want to hear a marketing scheme?
Sure.
I would dump 100,000 of these at every, throughout the whole country at every driving range, and I would lease them out for $5, $2, whatever it is. You go to the driving range, lease one for $2, because a lot of people have never heard of this or check it out. And then you download your app, download right there while you're waiting in line to pay, whatever. Make it really simple.
Everybody has their iPhone with them.
Because everybody would pay like I'm not sure I would walk in the store and pay right now, pay $169 for it. But if I walked into a driving range and there was one there for $2, I would say, sure, I'll do it. Right. Split with the driving range, and next thing you know, you've got you may have, sales may go up, I don't know, ridiculous amount. I'm just throwing it out.
Have you been eavesdropping in our office?
No, not really.
Okay. It's something that a very similar scheme that we've been talking about. We haven't been able to execute on it yet.
It's hard. I understand.
It's not,
driving ranges is not like it's not a kind.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. We don't have
not progressive thinkers that are running driving ranges typically.
One, you don't have progressive thinkers, and two, it's not a big corporate space.
Right.
So it's not like you can go to one company that owns 3,000 driving ranges. At least I don't think it is.
There's 19,000 courses in the country. I think of them, about 3,000 are part of some network. Everybody else is indie.
Yeah.
So
it's a very fragmented.
The statistic, you said you got 5 miles per hour on your 7-iron. So we have a friend of mine who's a big golfer and into golf. He said every mile per hour is 3 yards on a driver. Yep. So if you can bring that out, you hit the ball, 260. Now you're hitting the ball 275 because you picked up 5 miles. I mean, now I'm walking past Sosnoff. Now I'm feeling a little bit better about myself. So there is some benefit. Yeah, I'm walking past you. Well, your days are numbered. They're over.
Yeah,
it's possible.
And when you talk about the physics of a golf ball, one thing to talk about is backspin, overtakes side spin. So that's why people typically hit their shorter, their wedges straighter than their 4-iron, just because they're getting a lot more backspin. So to your point, if you're hitting the ball longer, you can now use a shorter club that has more backspin. Mm-hmm. You can now actually hit straighter shots into the green as well. So that distance, people think about 4 yards. What is that? But it adds up, and it actually allows you to use better clubs too.
If you're looking for a 32 handicap as a spokesmodel, there you go. There's the bat right there. He's ready.
I'll work it, man. I'll work that circuit. You kidding me?
Yeah, that's probably the one demographic we have covered pretty substantially. Yeah. So.
Lucky thing you do, okay? Because that's your wheelhouse. Listen, you tell a guy with a 20 handicap that you can add, 20. What'd you say? You picked up
15 yards basically.
Yeah, 15 yards. Well, you tell somebody with a 20 handicap, that's a big number.
Sure.
Absolutely.
That's a big number. Now, if you make it go straight, that's even a bigger number.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
this was great, guys. Nathan and Alex, thanks so much for coming into Taste Show. We haven't had a golf bootstrapping segment. I'm not even sure we've had one since we started. It's about like number 800 or something. So it's really cool, and you're local in Chicago, so we wish you the best of luck. And it sounds like you guys are on something really kind of cool, really special. So hopefully you knock it out of the park.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Good job, guys. We'll take about a 3-minute break. We'll come back. We got Good Trade, Bad Trade next. This is Taste Trade Live.